coming in this lovely Saturday morning to our event on social media branding and soft skills for engineers. Although, as we go through, you will find out that many of these things we are going to discuss today will be across the board for other disciplines as well too. Starting first with safety, just want to let you know that in case of emergency, there are access to the main through the stairs and also left to the parking. Painting is then to go up and to the outside. I'd like to ask you please to turn off your cell phones or mobiles during the program. For those of you that need, some for emergency or something to be connected, I appreciate that you turn it to vibrate, so we don't have any, disturbance during the discussions. I want also to thank our sponsors, University of British Columbia Applied Science MEL program, Master of Engineering Leadership. They are our platinum sponsor this year. ISS of BC, or Immigrants and Services Society of BC, as well as Motion Matrix. They are our gold sponsors. And Applied Science Technologists and Technicians of BC as our silver sponsor. Also, the IEBCA, not IEBCA, which we have had a few years of a very close collaboration. Immigrant Employment Council of BC, they have been also supporting and sponsoring the program. And I'd like to thank them all and also the exhibitors for this year. We had a very good response, and I appreciate that. I'd like to, at this stage, invite our chair for this year, 2017-2018, Mr. Sasan Momini, to have some introduction about our association, Iranian Engineers BC Association, and then we right away go to the panel discussion. So there's some good news, bad news. Bad news is that I'm going to be the moderator, I don't have any choices. The good news is that I usually have 3 hours introduction. Today will be only 2.5 hours. But anyway, please, Sasan.
Hello and good morning, everybody, and thanks for joining us for this fantastic event in the morning. I know that it's Saturday, a lovely sunny in Vancouver, and it's an appreciation that you took the time and energy to come here for this fantastic event. I'd like to thank our panelists and the speakers and the sponsors and exhibitors for joining us for this great event. And just a brief point, some points about IEBCA. Maybe you know IEBCA for a long time. It's an organization that's established in BC around 7 years ago. We have a member list or email list of over 600 people. And we have like over 140 people member page this year. And many events we arrange during the year. Normally we start from monthly events that we have for technical points or managerial points. These 2 types of the topics are the main things that we talk about in a month at our events, and normally it's in North Vancouver. Also it happens that we have a couple of times site visits. So this year, for example, we went to Triumph. That's a fantastic facility near to UBC, and we did also some other site visits in Vancouver downtown. Last year we did the Plus Garden, that's one unique building downtown Vancouver. We have also nightclubs, and we have also social gatherings like there's young Iranian, so we have also gathering for the noons, that's the start of the Iranian calendar. And gather all together with the families and the members. We have the ceremony of last year. We had like 150, 160 people joining us for that event. During the summertime, normally July is the time that we have the summer picnic with the family and members again, or the summer cruise. A couple of years ago, for 2 years, we had the summer cruise from Vancouver downtown to North Vancouver and the other area close to West Vancouver. So thanks again, and help us to make a fantastic BC and Vancouver and lovely. Hopefully, all of us, we know that success is a journey, and all the efforts that we put in this regard to be with each other and to work with each other is the main reason to gather. And this is the aim of IEBCA, to help all the newcomers to know a bit more about the culture and all the soft skills that we need in the climate of businesses in Vancouver, I can say in Canada. Thank you again, and have a great Thanks.
What percentage chance do you have of getting that job? Yeah. So this is the number one idea that I had was don't do this. This is crazy, man. The 2% chance, 2% chance. So if you're new to Canada, right? You've been in Canada for a while, you're looking for that dream job, this is what you don't want to do. You don't want to be going to Indeed. You don't want to be looking at the jobs thinking that you're going to put a resume in and you're going to get the job. Because that's just what, I think maybe just buy some lotto tickets. What do you think? No, that's even worse. That's even a worse idea. So you've got lots of competition. There's no doubt about that, right? Can I just see the next slide, please? So here's a resume. I just pulled a resume. It's kind of formatted in a certain way, and I'm sure that lots of people spend lots of time on their resumes. You spend hundreds and hundreds of hours, dozens of hours recrafting your resume. But the truth is that the average recruiter, and Andrew, you can tell me if I'm right or wrong about this, how long do you take on each resume? 10 minutes? 15 minutes? That's because you're a good one, Andrea. But the average HR person isn't Andrea. Andrea's a professional recruiter. The average HR person for a company is what? How old is the average HR person in the company? Between 35 and 55. Are they a man or a woman? 76% chance they're a woman, right? They probably have an assistant with them in bigger companies, right? How old's that person? 25. 25 to 30, man or woman. 80% chance they're a woman. What does a 25-year-old in an engineering company know about all the positions in the company? Someone just did this. And guess what? She's looking at your resume. That's right, she's looking at your resume. Because the HR manager's too dang busy to look at your resume. They've got all sorts of things they're doing, right? So what they've done is they've shunted off this task to vet the resume with this 25-year-old young lady who's just probably out of college, out of university. So they're looking at your resume. Holy criminies. I think 2% is high. So this is why it's like you send a resume in. I think I don't know. You can wait a long time for resumes to be vetted. What does it take? How long does the HR person say? So one of the engineering project managers comes up and goes, "Hey, we've got a position open. We need a position filled." How long does it take for them to fill that position, on average? 3 months. 3 months. It's crazy, man. If you don't have the companies you want to work for, you've got to find them now. If you don't know the people in those companies, you've got to research them. And then you have to meet them. And you'll be happy. At the end of the day, you'll be happy you do all this. Thank you all very much.
Impression. So have a great picture of you smiling. It should be a picture of ideally from the waist or from the chest up that really shows who you are. Because we build relationships with people, right? We build relationships like that. We want to work with people we know, like, and trust. So make sure that this is the best you that you can possibly have out there. Next slide. Now, once you've got this really great profile, The next thing you really want to do, it's probably the most important thing next to having a really good, strong photo, is having a great bio. A lot of us think that the work history we did a couple years ago, or 10 years ago, or school and education really doesn't have a place here. But again, people want to build relationships with people. So complete your entire bio, complete that story. And the little outline that I give people when they're thinking about how do I write a good bio, number one, talk in first person. Don't do it in third person. Go in first person because they want to get to know you, the individual. Then you also, what I like to suggest to people is, one, talk about your achievements. What school did you go to? Have you received any awards? Did you have any great accomplishments? Talk about then what the value is that you can bring. What makes you a good team member? Why would a company want to hire you? What is it that you can bring? And the third, and I know this might sound funny, but it's probably the most important thing, is personalize it. What is it that you're interested in? What are your likes? All of you here, I'm pretty sure, don't just wake up, live and breathe whatever it is that you do in your job, and you don't have any hobbies or activities. So when a company is looking to hire someone, they want to know they're going to be a good part of their team. If you love different sports, if you're a hockey fan, if you're a soccer fan, if you like to go jogging or hiking, if you have other different types of interests, write that in there, because that's going to be a great way for them to know how you're different from the next person. This is probably the number one thing that I have found that has made the biggest difference for me in being able to find work. I've never been able to get a job with a resume as it was outlined. I've always used social media, contacting people, and talking a little bit about myself. And then people start to know that I love chocolate, I love coffee, I love wine, I like to run, and I like to be outdoors. So people can build those conversations. It's also really great that when you're getting ready to call up that CEO and make that meeting, and you're looking at their profile and you realize that maybe they're an avid traveler and they've traveled to some of the same places you have, now you have a point of connection. Now you can start to talk about that and you can say, hey, I noticed that you and your family went to Fiji a couple years ago. We've just been there. You can talk a little bit more about different things. You can build that relationship and start to build that rapport with people.
People are like, okay, well, that's just a stuff shirt. This person doesn't have any applicable experience, and they look at them kind of sideways. If you had a PhD and you're in South Korea, you actually are quite revered over there. There's a lot of respect that automatically comes along with a PhD. In Vancouver, frankly, there's going to be more than a few hiring managers that look at a person and say, you forgot to leave school, didn't you? Now, pointedly here, and this one's going to affect a couple people in this room, everyone in this room knows that Sharif University is kind of the Yale of the Middle East. Go outside these doors, though, most people have no idea what Sharif University is. Not at all. And so some of these differences here need to be identified as cultural differences. So let's get back to engineers. So it'd be fair to say that some of the first words that people think of, one of the first words people associate with engineer is smart. Smart, 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 right? And this feels good. Really well in school. We're smart. Yay. But most of the work engineers do is not necessarily pure in solving partial differential equations or anything. It's going to be a lot of report writing, thoroughness, oversight, legal compliance, project management. Those are all soft skills. It's all soft skills there. So that's what industry gets out of engineers and what justifies our salaries. There are also skills that are typically not taught in university. You typically get them in the first couple of years of employment. Now let's say that an engineer is lacking some soft skills. And this is not specifically an English as a second language thing. You can have, Canadian-born engineers that are either rude or remarkably shy. But let's say perhaps this person does not have fantastic soft skills. They're kind of doubly harmed at this point as far as their career. So this person not only lacks communication skills that are required for an intermediate or senior role, they're also now kind of seen as overqualified. And this is a little bit tricky statement for you to make here, but I've heard on multiple occasions over the past couple of weeks why would I hire an engineer when I know that a technologist is going to do a much better job of the technical work? I got to let's mention that there.
And I didn't even pay you to say that.
I did not get a toaster for saying that.
No, I'll pay you lots of money if you come over and see
But they're doubly harmed. There is an expectation that engineers with those 4 years of jumping through hoops are supposed to have those management skills. And if they're not there, it's somewhere you're just simply selling your technical skills right now, and there's an expectation you have more as an engineer.
So it's not a step down for me. This is a challenge for me. I'm new to Canada. I will put my heart and soul into this company, right?
That's fair.
This kind of a message to them.
I was just gonna say, to add to that too, I know I've worked with a lot of recruiters too as well, trying to find new ways of finding candidates. And if you're finding too, exactly like you said, that you're getting passed over because you're overqualified, be a little bit different too. Use social in a way to explain that. Make a little video that goes in with your resume. Don't make it, 15, 20 minutes long. Do a quick 2-3 minute video that explains exactly what you just said about why this is a good fit for you, so that people again get to see who you are.
Thank you. People were writing names, and directing them, so this is for Kat actually. Gentleman says that I'm a mechanical engineer. I'm working as a customer service representative at a gas station for service there. Should I put this experience to LinkedIn? Please comment. And there's another one saying that if you have Canadian experience but unrelated to our profession, is it a good idea to put it on LinkedIn?
Okay, great question. I hear this a lot. So the questions were, if I'm in a position that is unrelated to what I'm actually hoping to get a job in, should I include that on my LinkedIn profile? And I would say yes. Again, you don't want to hide your past. Sometimes it looks really off. If somebody looks at your past work history and there's huge gaps, they sometimes will wonder, like, why is there this big gap in this person's history? But what I would, again, encourage you to maybe do is talk about what you've learned. Every job has an opportunity for you to learn something. So maybe it's dealing with customer service, maybe it's something else that you're learning with that. So if maybe one of the areas you need to focus on are those soft skills of handling customer questions, writing reports, and this job allows you to do that, I would write that in there. So you don't need to just say that you worked in a gas station and that's it. Talk about what you've learned there, that you've learned to work with customers, that you help them achieve this, and explain the value that you brought to that organization. And then it doesn't matter the organization that you're working with, the fact that you can bring value to it shows that you look for great opportunities with any company that you're working with.
Great, thanks. Next question is, says, CEOs usually do not want or accept to meet you. This is the same for other hiring managers. What are we supposed to do when they decline to have a chat with you?
Sorry, what's the question?
The question is that CEOs usually do not want to or they don't accept to meet with you. This is the same for the hiring managers. So what are we supposed to do when they decline to have a chat with you?
Don't give up. I mean, unless they've told you no, don't ever call me again. That's a yes. They want to talk to you. I run a company, right? It's we're a very successful company. I want to work with. I pick out the companies that I want to work with. So right now I've got 10 companies on a list that I'm calling the CEO each. Not every day, but on a scheduled basis, right? And I've left one message for them. I'm not going to leave another message. And now I'm just calling them. If they don't pick up the phone, I put it down. I'm waiting to talk to them, right? So I left one message, and then I'm just going to call. No answer, right? Call them next week. Call them again. Call them again. Will I give up? Will I give up? I will not. I want to work for that company. So I will not call, I will not give up until he finally, one day he's going to answer the phone, or she's going to answer the phone. And I'm going to say hi, and then I'm going to give my